It's my life, it's your life, it's our life, it's our life, it's our life. You got to make a decision.
If you haven't had a chance, please get over to YouTube and subscribe. Hollatics Live. We want to take the show over there. I think the response time with my comments are better there. Sometimes they stagnated with Facebook. Sometimes I get on Facebook and somebody then said something to me and I had no idea, because I look at the shows after they over. But Hollatics, man, y'all check in. Y'all talk about old Mike Mills as well, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think about old Mike Mills, man. Hollatics.com, that's right, Rod. You want to get over to YouTube faster, just go Holla-tics, like it says right there in the logo.com. Take you right there to YouTube. Hollatics, man, y'all weigh in tonight. All eyes are on us tonight, man. Y'all gonna be very, very interested, I think, concerning the subject. If you're tuning in for the first time, this is actually a podcast. Sounds like radio, but it's a podcast. This is the Hollatics Live Interactive Podcast. I am Rash, your host. A little history on me. I got a little time to flex, man. Some consider me the godfather of Southern gospel hip hop. I was doing genre a long time before anybody wanted to, and so doing that, I met an incredible amount of people across the nation, man, and they just support me in whatever I do. And so I decided to do a podcast and call it Hollatics. And we talk about whatever we want. Here's no bars and stars. Just you, me, and the things that concern you the most. So Hollatics, lay in, man. Getting ready to come to the night's floor subject. I'm gonna drop it. We're gonna let some Hollatics weigh in tonight, though. What y'all think about taking this show a little longer, man? Y'all let me know what y'all think. Rod got the Ember tonight. Renee Diaz, what's up, Dan, man? Sorry, Dan, about last night's show. That's Urban Vegas Radio Network. Sorry about the show last night, Dan, because I couldn't record it because we was doing it from StreamYard. But I'm back. We the OBS boys over here, man. So I'm back on OBS tonight and got it coming your way. We might start going longer, Dan, so be aware of that as well. Hollatics, y'all check in from around the globe. This is the Hollatics Live Interactive Podcast. I am Rash, your host, of course. And we do this every night. Like Rod just told y'all in the comments. We do this every night. Okay, so anyway, man. Let me drop tonight's floor subject. Let me set it up first. I need to work on being a good storyteller, man. Let me work on setting up tonight's floor subject first. So I watched the debate a little later than everybody else because I was doing this, and as soon as I do this, man, I have to prepare these shows, shoot them off to Dan at Urban Vegas, and then, man, I just want to see my wife and my couch at that time. And so I'll go back and watch the shows, and then I had to catch up on the debate. So I watched about 30 minutes of the debate the next day. It was all I could stand because I felt like Trump did that much better than Vice President Biden. And but anyway, I seen that me and Mike Mills talked between this time, right? And I seen a lot of people upset about the racism thing. And so I didn't watch that far in it. And I know Mike was just ranting off for me. We was having a private conversation, so Mike just ranting off to me, and he like, and he said, what did he say? Pride boys, stand down, stand back. And then we just kept talking. And then, so, boom, it made me, later on, well, I'll tell you what, that's tonight's floor subject. I'm setting it up, though. I don't have the big, drum roll yet. I need a band to do the drum roll. But I'm going to get back to my story. That's tonight's floor subject. So I remember Mike saying that. And then me and him had the big long talk on the show last night. And I goes to bed. And so I get up out the bed this morning, 6 in the morning. I'm scrolling through my phone. And I see one of my guys on Facebook. He has a hat on that says Black Lives Matter. Proud Boys. Make America Great. And it's, black and yellow, which is the Pride Boys color. So I'm like, what in the heck is going on? So I go do the research on the organization, the Proud Boys. And of course, based on media, what some, I know Rye would say, others, maybe Victor would say, liberal media, have put a whole lot of propaganda out on the Proud Boys. And so, of course, that's my first thread line, right? I'm looking at all this and I'm like, oh man, I had no idea. Antifa, Proud, all this is turning into factions now when it started out for just American justice. That's all it was at the beginning. It was just a cry for American people to get some justice. Black people, American people. And it turned into all these factions or whatever. So I spiral out of all of that and catch a piece of thread that came down my timeline. Well, now came down my timeline, and it was the Washington Times. They had one of the leaders from that chapter of the Proud Boys, one of the leaders from the Black Lives Matter movement. They were both standing there. And one of the leaders from Antifa, and they all were standing there saying, we all are saying that it is no problem with the rally here tonight. And specifically, the Proud Boy said, I can speak for the national chapter. We denounce white supremacists. We don't let those guys in the group. We denounce Ku Klux Klan. So he made that statement clear. I'm like, he's not the leader. But if he can make this statement this bold, then he must have some weight. Now, later on, I'm watching, and I'm going to get to you Holla-tics, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in. If you're tuning in for the first time, this is the Holla-tics Live Interactive Podcast. I'm Rash, your host. Here we Holla-tic. And everybody gets to weigh in. And so, Holla-tics, I do want y'all to weigh in. But let me finish my story. So, he spoke and said, we're not a white supremacist group. We're not a Ku Klux Klan. We denounce these organizations, right? And I'm saying, okay. So, I scrolled a little further down my timeline. And there it is, a good friend of mine out of Kansas City. I won't put his name out there yet because I don't want y'all to stalk him and maybe cause havoc in his life. Maybe that's good. I don't know if he want to go viral. Maybe he do. He put the stuff on Facebook, right? So I call him Zim. That's my boy. He put a post out that he had spoke personally to the leader of the Proud Boys. And I know Zim. Zim is 100. Zim is solid. So I'm saying, Zim went on to write that he knew the organization was not racist. And again, the whole left media, liberal media versus right media versus thing came into play. So I come to the conclusion that I did not believe that the Proud Boys were a white supremacist group. But I was combated by some of my other friends. Now, I'm having international conversations going on. It's just not my partners in the hood. It's people talking to me from Atlanta, Georgia, and it's people talking to me from Kansas City. And so I'm having like me and Mike talking from Florida. So I'm having international conversations. And so I know it's mixed feelings about the group. So tonight on the floor, Hollatics Live Interactive Podcast, I introduced to the floor tonight, Holliticians, the Proud Boys. Stand back, stand down, weigh in. If you want to know where that statement come from, the statement was said by Donald Trump when they asked him to denounce white supremacists. And he said, Proud Boys, stand back, stand down. That was the words he said. And so, again, I all this didn't make sense to me till like a day later. I caught on slow. It's the Holla-tics show. Yeah, I have a degree in politics, but I watch it different than y'all. I dissect it. And so I have to eat it slow. I can't treat it like a Pop-Tart like most people do. But Holliticians, y'all weigh in. Proud Boys, stand down. What do you think about the organization? I've seen, I do not believe, I won't weigh in yet. I won't weigh in. I need you Holla-tickers to weigh in. Holla-tic Gabriel Robinson said that was a heavy statement by Trump. I agree. It don't surprise me. President Trump is known, he's the deal maker or the promoter. He does stuff like that. He's the trigger man. He's the hot shot. You don't know what he gonna say. So that was huge for a group that like the Proud Boys to be shot out by the President of the United States. It made a huge statement. That is absolutely right, Gabe. Holla-tic Gabe weighed in and said that was a huge statement. Holliticians, y'all weigh in. Proud Boys, stand back, stand down. Holla-tic Gabe say he was backtracked saying that he didn't know the Proud Boys, but I'm not surprised though. I'm not either, man. Trump has been known to backpedal when he get in his garden and have to talk to people the next day. It was one of the first names out of his mouth, so I can't believe he don't know who they are. But then on the flip side, my research has turned up that these guys is not a white supremacist organization, which is what they get pegged for. And also, I've watched, to be fair, I'm just being fair, America. I've watched Trump denounce white supremacists, Ku Klux Klan, David Duke. He did it a million times. And so I understand. Holliticians, y'all weigh in tonight. Proud Boys is the subject. Now, when I did my research and went and looked up the organization, I seen all kinds of races. I didn't look at the bylaws, why it was formed. My first instinct is to look at the character of the people that's associated with it. Not by sight, because I could put a bandana on my head and you would swear I was a gangster. So it's not about sight with me. I listen to what comes out of people's mouth and what they're saying. And so that was my first deep dive, looking into the organization. And that started today. And what I came up with today was I do not believe the organization is a racist organization. Do I believe members participate in acts just like Black Lives Matter and Antifa? I mean, they get muddy waters, but sometimes a lot of these organizations start out with earnest motives. But that's not my way in. Hollatics, y'all weigh in tonight. Proud Boys, stand back, stand down. What do you think about the whole organization, the Proud Boys? Do you think I made a post today about it. It's going haywire. And I also made a post because I do take this liberty when I'm here on the Holla-tics show to address my people. Black people is what I mean when I say my people. Kingdom people, and then my culture, black people. I would like to see, for you to see that it is a war for your vote. All this racist thing, all the race war, the civil uprising, in the center of it is the black man and the white man. Other races are joining the fight, but other races kind of got their stuff down pat. Right now, cops were assaulting us, which is why the whole Black Lives Matter thing started. It's not to say no other lives matter. It's just to say right now, we losing black lives. But then, you know, you got this stuff starting to happen, the Antifa, which I didn't do a whole lot of research on that as well. And then now the Proud Boys, out of the president's mouth in the middle of the first debate, hugest debate, because of the COVID and everything going on. Out of his mouth comes Proud Boys, stand back. Hollatics, y'all weigh in. What do you think about the organization? Now again, I put this post up concerning the organization earlier, and a good friend of mine, she's a Holla-tician. I call her Chris Sher. She's the wife to good friend, producer. Last time he called me, I say, man, we everything to each other. Ion. She said a statement to me because I started a conversation about this whole thing on my Facebook page. And she made a statement to me, and I asked her, could I read it tonight? Now let me know. Let me set up the premises of her statement. She made a statement about Donald Trump was refusing to denounce racism. And I made the statement, well, he has, but you know, he's an arrogant guy. So he's not gonna let you make him do anything, which is what I guess he felt like he had the chest bump last night. And she wrote this statement back. And so this is Holla-tics, Chris Sher. The fact remains, she said, of course he has, meaning that he has denounced racism. We all seen that. White supremacist David Duke, he denounced all that. But Chris Sher wrote this. The fact still remains that he should have seized the opportunity to do so on the grandest stage, considering the current racial climate. Equally as important, when the moderator asked him if he thought systematic racism was an issue in this country, and he completely ignored that question. It was necessary for him to denounce that on that stage, considering the climate that he's helped foster. Even some of the most staunch conservatives like Mitch McConnell has come out and said he should have seized the opportunity on that stage. He blew it. And he'll never convince that, I'll be never convinced, I mean, she wrote, that wasn't intentional. That was Holla-tics Chris Sher. She say, I know he has denounced being a racist. I know he's denounced David Duke and the Ku Klux Klan, but he had the grandest stage to do it on. He should have seized the moment, being he helped create this civil unrest that we in. When she wrote that, I replied back to Chris Sher, Holla-tics Chris Sher. I said, I have no response for your comment. You absolutely right to feel and believe that way. I believe also like you do. Can I read that on the show tonight? That was my response to her, because it was a valid point. It was an excellent Holla-tics point. It was what I like to make happen here. I like for people to start thinking politically, because it matters. Black man, it matters. Your vote matters. I don't care who you give it to. If they count 5% over here and they count 5%, they say, that's 10%. We need to start paying attention to some of their wants and needs. That's how we get it started on this side. But Hollatics, y'all weigh in. Stand down. Stand back. Hollatics, y'all weigh in tonight. Oh, I got Mike in the house. What's going on, man? Mike Robinson is in the building, man. Welcome to Hollatics Live, the interactive podcast. I am Raz, your host. And tonight, statement flew out of the president's mouth. The organization, Proud Boys. What do you think? Johnny Flores, Holla-tics Johnny Flores say, one, the leader actually has a Latino last name and he looks Afro-Latino. Supposedly it started off as a drinking club. I read all those things too, Johnny. I read those exact same things. Started out as a drinking club. Of course, the leader is mixed. I see people come in, he's black. When people say that, I'm like, that's exactly part of the problem right there. You know, even if he is black, do we need a highlighter put on him? You know? But anyway, that's people. I think like that. I'm not sure if everybody else do. What up, Joshua? Joshua say, what's good, Raz, man? I am here, man. Hollatics Live, the interactive podcast. No bars and stars here, man. I could be on his spin rhymes, but no bars and stars here. Just you, me, and the things that concern you the most. And we have to be concerned about the presidential election and stuff like what's on the screen. Proud Boys. Hollatics, y'all weigh in. Holla-tics Rod say, how many times does he have to say it? I didn't know he actually denounced it that many times till I started looking at the propaganda. I know it's always been racism circling Trump's allegations of racism circling his president run, but I knew I didn't feel he was. Everybody's prejudiced. It's a difference between the races and the prejudice. You know, prejudice mean I like my own kind. Your kind don't live in this neighborhood. I ain't seen many, so I prefer to just kind of stick to my kind. It's not a good behavior, but that's more prejudice. Racism is more violent and ugly. It's more tied into ignorance, meaning, you know, people can be warned out of being prejudiced. When you get to know that guy, then you say, hey, I like this guy. The prejudice goes away. Racism don't care how good you are or how well or whatever. Racism says, you know, I'm just not gonna like you because you ain't like me. And so I never questioned was Trump a racist because I was a watcher of Celebrity Apprentice. I bought into a lot of those seasons, man. Lil Jon, you know, Trump came out and said that Lil Jon was smart. He judged him from sight, but when he saw how smart he was, he gave Lil Jon some money for his organization. So I seen all that stuff. So I didn't really feel like, you know, he felt really good about Arsenio Hall getting a second chance. I didn't really buy into the whole racist thing. So a lot of this stuff that's, you know, coming to play, Proud Boys, was new to me, man. So I decided to put it on the floor tonight, man. How did Gabe say, what did you think he meant when he said stand back, stand down? Now, when they were saying denounce racism, he was saying stand back. These was somebody he knew that was out here. I guess somebody he felt strong to say. And I guess he had to feel that because he felt like maybe he could vouch that they wasn't white supremacists. So he was telling them, look, step back. And then now to stand down, I think he purposely done that because he believes that there will be problems at the poll. And to my knowledge, the Pride Boys have devout to watch the polls. I mean, it's propaganda. It's going on right now. So I know when he said that, he deliberately said what he meant, Gabe, is look, I ain't saying go home. I'm just saying step back. So we both seeing the same thing, Gabe. I get that, and he deliberately did that, Gabe. Holla-tics Rod say how many times he has to say it. You right, Rod. I said that already. Holla-tics Johnny Flores. Trump is just just passionate about America. He knows his support for Israel is not a white supremacy. You know, that's real. He supported Israel, you know. Of course, a lot of people that watch the Holla-tics live, if you're just tuning in, we're going to run a little longer too tonight. If you're just tuning in, a lot of us are Bible thumpers. And so anytime a president comes in and he backs Israel, you know, you got us as Bible thumpers. You got our hearts, man. We're kingdom people. And Trump has done that. As ugly as his character can be, as crazy as he is, he's done a lot of stuff in line with Christianity. And, you know, we can't control the pastor in the pulpit, less known the president. So I wouldn't even, I don't even try to put people's character to the fire when it comes to spirituality. That's not our job. We take the plank out of our eye. We don't fool with the speck in yours. So he's done a lot of stuff that lines up with Christianity. So he gets a lot of support from Christians. I admonish everybody to look at the stuff from an independent eye. You know, what do you feel? Mike Robinson say he chose his words wisely, and it wasn't by happenstance that he said that, and we have to vote because it's vital. That is right, Mike. Mike Robinson, Holla-tics Mike Robinson say we have to vote is vital, and it ain't by happenstance. Nah, he didn't say that by happenstance, Mike. We got to vote, you know. This is true. This is true. Holla-tics Rod, how did he help create it again? He didn't help create Proud Boys. They was already around. Some people already knew they was in the streets. They didn't have battles with Antifa, according to my knowledge. We don't see a lot of that here in Texas, right? I guess that's why it's going over us. We in red state, baby. This is Republican state. Republican governor. We in deep. We in blood town, so we don't see a lot of this. Ricky, what's up? Ricky in the building. Holla-tics. This is Ricky Bird Shell, a movie producer. If y'all want y'all movie shot, holla at Ricky. Ricky said that's suspect. It was. He said it on purpose, Rick. What up, Anthony? I see you in the building, homie. I'm glad we following each other now. Dan, what's good? Trey Bun say, Rash, you still a lonely voice crying in the wilderness? I was, but now I got the Holla-tics live show, so I ain't lonely no more. What up, Holla-tics Davis? Rash, keep up the great insight. National elections are important, and local elections. Some are blind to what others have to offer. Growing up in military homes, so I grew up in growing up in a military home. I had no choice but to get in. That's right, Dave, and I will. I'm gonna take this time here, and I'm gonna keep running down these comments. We're gonna run a little long tonight. Let me take this time right here to be kind of controversial about both parties, the blue and the red. One thing I like about the conservative party is this: when it comes to black people who, besides Jay-Z and Beyonce, can be categorized as an impoverished race. Not that we started that way, not that our ancestors, it's like here in America that is so. Republicans look at black people and say, I know we are not the same. What can I do? Good Republicans should say, I know we're not the same. What can I do to help? The issue I have with Democrats is they say, hey, everybody, join us and be unified. but yet there are incredibly wealthy Democrats. And I have to look up and say, what do we have in common? How are we unified? So it's almost condescending to say, hey, join us. And then when you look, it's really wealthy ones, the J's, the B's, the Clintons. And then it's us here on ground level, grinding it out. The conservatives say, look, we rich, borderline racist. We know it's a difference. Here go the platinum package or whatever. You know, some people got mixed feelings about that. Dems they act like we all in this together, and it's not. There are elites amongst the Democrats. You know, how many times have you seen Bill Clinton in Houston, Texas? How many times you shook his hand? I'm just asking. I'm not picking a side here. So, yeah, on the flip side, I'm going to be contrary on the other side of that and say, what I do like about Democrats is that they own their evils. All is welcome. You know, every differences we accept. The rainbows, the Christians, the non-Christians, they all is inclusive with them. On the flip side, the conservative party hide their evils. It's gay people in the conservative party as well. There are strong women in the conservative party. There are a lot of stuff that is hidden. A lot of their evils when they don't treat women fairly. That's what I meant by strong women. They hide their dirt. Now, should it be in plain sight? I don't know. I can only speak for me and mine. Why am I so off or behind sometimes? My 4 kids, my wife, and my bills consume my life when I walk away from this desk. So I pick up my phone and I stay wrapped in. But, you know, that's my rant and rave on both parties, man. I got a lot of comments tonight, man. I got to get through some of them. I appreciate these many people tuning in tonight. We're going to go about another 15 minutes. We make the show about 45 minutes. I don't want to ride y'all out. Trey Bonds say 187 on the devil. Always, Trey. You know me. I'm a gospel gangster till I die. Rest in peace to my man Solo. Johnny said the White House is always, the white man is always an easy target for the media and politicians to call racist, and that's not good. That's race baiting, and that's the attack on Trump. Johnny Flores say race baiting. That's the attack on Trump. I agree. I had history with Trump, so I didn't believe he was a racist. Was he prejudiced? Maybe. To me, Trump like the haves and the have-nots. And so, but that's a whole nother conversation. So that's a lot of another reason why, you know, I don't get too much into the left and right thing, man. You know, and if I told a friend of mine, because we was talking politics earlier, I say, man, I bleed black. I don't bleed red or blue, because I think black people, we don't have to commit. We should probably weigh our options out and actually get somebody to give us concessions for our vote. We don't have to join we don't have to join a party, every race, man. How about we use some unity? That's how we gonna get respect around here. And so, but anyway, I'm ranting again. Gabe say, I was just making sure I wasn't tripping. Nah, Gabe, you wasn't tripping. He done that on purpose, bro. He done that purposely, man. Trump knows that, man. Spencer, what's good? Welcome to the Holla-tics show. Spencer, you done tuned in. Holla-tics, Spencer Lightly. Classmate. We ran the house of UHD together. Spencer also plays the bass. So we musicians. You know. think we're gonna grow old, gray together, Spence, and just jam out in nightclubs in downtown when we get old. Holla-tics Spencer say, from my understanding, one of the members of the Proud Boys organized the Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville. That's what I read too. In fact, the reason the clip is riding down my timeline on Facebook is I seen them standing together. I seen the head of the Black Lives Matter organization, the Proud Boys, and the Antifa leader. They were all standing together saying, we do not have a problem here. And that's what made me start digging through articles, and then I dug up and I seen that clip that I posted on my Facebook page on Twitter. And here was a guy who I felt like muscles spoke well enough to say I can speak for the organization. And his language was, we're not white supremacists. We don't want them guys in the group. We don't want them around us. And we denounce Ku Klux Klan. We denounce white supremacists. So I'm looking at this guy, muscular. Looks like he has the authority to speak for the organization. I said, man, that's, the case closed with me. I believe it. Hollatics, y'all weigh in from across the globe. This is Hollatics Live, the interactive podcast. I am Raz, your host. We do this every 7:30, usually at 8 o'clock, but we rolling tonight. What's up, JJ? Appreciate you tuning in, man. JJ Ramirez, good friend of mine. JJ, you still there? Shoot. You still there, Jay? Jay just shot the thumbs up. Let me tell y'all something about JJ. And which is crazy, JJ. Do not leave off live till I say this. JJ prophesied to me, oh my God, it had to be over 10, 15 years ago. It had to be over 15 years ago, JJ. He said, I see you in the White House. I see you amongst political figures, man. And at that time, I was like in a fisherman's hat. I was rapping on stage. Matter of fact, me and JJ did outreaches, man. That's how we got to know each other. We was in the streets with Nikki Cruz and stuff. And I was nowhere near politics, JJ. I didn't want to do politics. In fact, I went to college and my degree was political science because I wanted to continue on and get a degree in law, which still may be on the table. But here it is, JJ. I'm sitting here talking about how politics and politicians, and I'm not surprised. That's how God is. I am not surprised. But I did want you to hear that, JJ. Me and you were supposed to talk. I didn't get a chance for you to I didn't get a chance to get up with you when you was here. Joel Garza then checked in. What's up, Joel? Me and you then had plenty of backroom talks about stuff like this, man. Appreciate you tuning in tonight. Pastor Joel Garza, man, runs a great ministry out in Corpus. I think Corpus need more black people out there, but I'm gonna keep it moving. Joel say, why was white supremacist groups even an issue at the debate and not Antifa and Black Lives Matter? White supremacist groups are not the ones creating the chaos and destruction in our country. I will repeat, this is Joel Garza. Now, Holla-tics Joel Garza. I call him Pastor Joel. I don't have to call him Pastor Joel. I don't want to keep saying that, Joe. But I do want to add the honor to your name. So they'll know. Why was white supremacist groups even an issue at the debate and not Antifa and Black Lives Matter? White lives supremacist group are not the ones creating the chaos and destruction in the country. I do not disagree with you, Joe. Holla-tics Joe. I do not disagree. You know, me and you had backroom conversations, and me and you wasn't in line. We were kind of just going back and forth because, you know, I felt like the Black Lives Matter movement was being attacked for trying to shine justice or get justice for some of the victims of police brutality, black victims. And so I kind of ran out on my Facebook page, but that was Joel weighing in. I completely agree with you. What's up, my brother? It's a special night. Robert D. Harris, that is my blood brother. I think Rob came down for Christmas maybe 6-7 years ago was the last time I seen him. Rob lives in Washington and we rarely talk. Rob, that's my brother. I used to run from people in the neighborhood and they wouldn't mess with me because they knew my brother would beat him up. He always used to come home with blood on his pants because he'd bust somebody's nose. And he still will do that for me. It was somebody in Seattle, Washington, Rob, talking trash to me one time. I said, man, you gonna make me send my brother over there. I'm glad you tuned in tonight, Rob. Hollatics from around the globe, y'all tune in. I'm gonna run a little bit longer tonight, man. What's up, Pat? Pat Nelson, man. Flavor Unit in the building. Flavor Radio, I mean, not Flavor Unit. Queen Latifah, we ain't trademarking frenzy. Sid say Proud Boys chairman is a Cuban American. Yeah, I know he's not white, man, and I've seen people. Again, my whole conversation got started because I turned on my Facebook page this morning and I seen somebody I know is black, hood black. I mean, I don't mean the color. I mean, for as I know is a hood Negro black. He had like a Proud Boy hat on. I'm like, what in the world is going on? And so that is how I went down the rabbit hole, and that is how it became the subject of the night. Hollatics, Holliticians, y'all weigh in, man. I am running long tonight. Y'all not gonna make me do this every night, run long like this. I can't. If you ever been married, I know you've heard them words before. I can't tonight. I'm not gonna run long like this every night, but I am running long like this tonight, man. Holliticians, y'all check in. Proud Boys, stand up, stand down. Donald Trump made these words. He made this statement in the debate, and as the orator was trying to pressure him to denounce white supremacists and the Ku Klux Klan. Hollatics are weighing in. Again, Hollatic Joel Garza said that why was the Proud Boys, or white supremacists rather, why was white supremacy even a topic at the debate and not Black Lives Matter and Antifa? I say I don't know. I bury my face into the camera and say this concerning the debate. People say, oh, the debate was a hot mess. They say, oh man, I was disappointed in what we have for choices. They would say all this. To that I would say, vote. Not just on election year. When these guys are heating up across the country and you have an opportunity to vote in the primaries where they elect the forerunner for the party, you have an opportunity to participate in that. If you're looking up, you didn't like the choices we had this year, vote. Do something about it. Teach your kids how to do something about it. Teach other kids on the Little League team or whoever else to do something about it. Number two, America, like it or not, we are the most powerful country in the world. One of the major powers, of course. Number one in the world to me. That may be debatable, whatever. We are the greatest country in the world. What do you think the fight to run this mud was going to look like? What do you think a debate between two older white men who wants to run the country, what do you think it would look like? It's backroom bare knuckles is what we call it in politics. And yes, it was ugly, but it didn't shock me. I felt like Donald Trump won the debate because he was stiff and he had evidence. He has the power to say something and make it happen until November. Well, Joe Biden was he was less forceful and he was talking more about plans. Some of the things he accused President Trump of. Trump asked him, how would you know, Joe? How would you know those numbers? It was believable because in the position, Vice President Biden and Trump being the current president, I know he ain't allowed nowhere around that type of information, man. So it was more believable. But again, my point is this, and then I'm going to get ready to wind up and get out of here. If you can fix your mouth to complain about the debate and your choices for presidents this year, you can go vote. And that's as simple as it gets. Hollatics, y'all weigh in, man. We gonna get ready to wind down. I went wrong tonight. I did want to stare in the camera and say that because when you're around a lot of this stuff, you talk about it all the time. It gets cynical. It gets cynical almost. So I'm saying do something about it tonight. If you ain't like what happened 2 nights ago, do something about it. Love you too, Joe. Always, man. Always, man. Appreciate it, Gabe. Facts. Spence, appreciate it. Agreed. Especially if you're African American. And y'all know, y'all watch the Hollatics. If y'all don't know what I'm about, you can look down the comments in any of these shows and you're going to see all kinds of race. And so, but everybody who know me know I will take liberty and talk to my people. And as black people, let's be counted. I'm not telling you who to vote for. I'm saying vote so they can see that percentage. And then some of the stuff that we complain about in barbershops and back alleys, man, we can actually do something about it. That is my 2 cents, man. Holla-tics Joe say, I am not disappointed with the candidates we have. I consider Trump to be the best president I've ever had. We needed him to disrupt the crooked system. No one else would have been able to get it done. The politicians in our country on both sides sold us out to other countries. That is Holla-tics Joe Garza. Joe is pastor in Corpus Christi. He's a man of honor. Let me say that. He's a man of honor. So he ain't just some crazy dude with a keyboard talking. So, Joe, let me say this, man. The controversy spiraling him, man, is so unfortunate because I do believe he's doing a great job from the desk. I think he's horrible in public relations and he's the grumpy old boss. Get out of my face and get the job done. And I'm not sure all Americans are mature enough to handle that, man. So I agree with a whole lot of what you said, Joel. I agree with a whole lot of what you said. Is he the best president ever? That's one I have to look into. I would have to let his run stop and then look at his desk work. But I do like the fact that he's not business as usual. And I do like the fact he gangster. I mean, some of the stuff he did, like the whole thing about the smarts on Joe Biden, that was just very gangster. I was like, Trump, come on, man. This ain't helping you with brownie points. Politicians, y'all weigh in, man. We're going to bring the show to a close in a little bit. On the floor tonight, the Proud Boys. Trump made this statement. People accused the Proud Boys of being a white supremacist organization. My digging, I disagree. Shit, Trump have called him out. I guess if he gonna get t-shirt sales, maybe, I don't know. Presidents can't do that. Some people felt like it was wrong for him to do it. I had a Holla-tics weigh in earlier. Chris Scher was very candid, saying that Trump had an opportunity to unify the country just with a few statements last night, and he blew it. And she had a good point. I think everybody can agree about that, but we make excuses for his character, those who kind of rolling with him. But he could have used last night to unify the country. He could have, to help at least unify. I ain't gonna say it could have been done with one statement. I ain't that stupid. Johnny Flores say, I actually had his public reaction against his foes. He a nice dude if you're nice to him. He's even forgiving. I believe that. Dr. Tiandra Gordon has weighed in tonight in the Hollatics. She didn't weigh in, she's watching. Dr. Tiandra Gordon. I've been trying to get her to sit down and do something like this. Maybe on a pre-recorded scale. I hope she takes my offer serious. Hollatics, y'all weigh in tonight. We're talking about Proud Boys, man. I should go for every hour every night. I get a different array of people. What y'all think, man? Trent Bond said, Raz, I trust you, bro. Thanks for your comments. You've helped me first in 1999 and your music, and now with your podcast. Bonds, I'm honored. Listen, let me say this. Some of y'all know me for my gospel career as a gospel rap artist, man, and you follow me because of that. I sincerely appreciate you. The type of music we do, we don't get to be rich and famous off the music. And so, just as Bond said, Trey Bond said, he said, I trust you, Raz, with your comments and your music. Means a lot to me, bro. Anybody else who feel like that, I have an opportunity now to look me in the eyes. It means a lot to me, bro. I appreciate that. Hollatics, y'all weigh in. We still got 4 minutes. I'm gonna round it down at about 8:30. Victor Moore's in the building. Terrence Brown weighing in. He say, now, who would want to deal with someone who calls himself a president that wouldn't do the positive, and the one and only thing he knows to do is to lie to people? A lot of issues. Thanks for weighing in. A lot of issues with Trump character. I sit and have conversations on a daily basis because I'm prejudiced towards his desk work. I watch the stuff he do off his desk, and I have no harsh criticism for a lot of stuff he's doing off the desk as a president, but I'm constantly in arguments with people. People feel like I wear red. I don't. I'm a black man in America. I can't be a Republican. I'm kidding, but I don't wear red. But I make excuse for his character, and that's the type of arguments I get in behind President Trump, because he has horrible character in public, on camera. I ain't gonna say he's like that at home. I don't know that, so I cannot. I have no rebuttal for you, Terrence. I try to challenge comments and try to be the devil's advocate and see from both sides, but I have nothing for you on that one, Terrence. You're right. He can be more positive. I believe everyone can be more positive, and definitely the president of the United States can be more positive. So you are right. Victor D. Moore in the building. Gabe Robinson. Yeah, an hour long would be great for the podcast. It's done, Gabe, because you said it is done. Gabe is my music producer. The music y'all hear me jamming in the background sometimes be too loud. That's Gabe. Fire Beats. Y'all patronize him if you're a rap artist, man. Make some killer tracks, bro. Just music just oozing out the dude. He said, I think he like people get up and run laps. I think Gabe get up and make 2 beats and then he start his day. And they be fire, bro. Fire Beats. Yeah, Gabe, we gonna go an hour, man. We're gonna go an hour, brother. PJ, Pickle Juice, all my producers, y'all Negroes showing up at the end of the show. Gabe be here every night though. PJ, shame on you. Your music is actually the introduction to the show, and you like show up like once a month. Shame on you. Shame on you. We get ready to wind out, man. Let me put some music on while I'm talking this trash, right? A lot of my producers tune in, man. A lot of people support me, man. Support the stuff I do. It ain't too loud, is it? Oh no, let me turn it down. A lot of people support the things I do, man. I appreciate y'all. There we go. There we go. A lot of people support what I do, man, and I appreciate y'all for that, man. Let's blow the podcast up, man. If you actually go, I have a Facebook group that I'm starting. It's called CastNet, stands for Controversy All-Star Network. I want to start hosting the show from that group, so you're gonna get invites from CastNet, Controversy All-Star Network. Please accept it if you're watching this. I know people, I be ignoring them because I get so many, but if you see Controversy All-Star Network, accept that. We're gonna start hosting the show from that group. I'm gonna wind up and get out of here. We're gonna do the show for an hour starting tonight. You right, Gabe. Hollatics, Hollaticians, man, y'all weigh in tonight. Y'all keep the conversation going on. Here, this is the Hollatic Interactive Podcast. I'm Rash, your host. No bars and stars here, man. Just you, me, and the things that concern you the most. Man, love on somebody before we see each other again. And if you have the opportunity to change somebody's life, if you have that opportunity, man, you take it. I'm Raz, man. We out of here. You had that opportunity, man. You take it. I'm Raz, man. We out of here. Oh my God.